up already, Mr. Keenan?
I thought I might as well be very quiet for the last 20 minutes.
Yes. Well, let me have your totals as soon as Miss Dempster's locked the doors, will you?
Will do, Mr. Beveridge.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'd like to pay this money into my savings account, please.
Certainly, sir. I only just made it.
Oh, no, it's all genuine currency, I assure you. Would it be possible for you to cash me a small check on my business account?
Oh, yes, I think we're time to do that.
Ah, good. You know, you saved my bacon. I thought it might be complicated.
Not a bit, sir.
Ah, good. That's marvellous. Only, see, what made me wonder, I don't bank here.
You don't?
No, I have considered it because this bank is much nearer since they've rerouted the buses. And if I happen to be on the last minute like I am today, I can get off and walk in here. Whereas if I stay on and get off at Pitt Street, they're shut. I have to knock on the side window. And when they see who it is, they won't let me in.
Let's start at square one. You were on your way to our Pitt Street branch when you thought they might be closed by the time you got there, so you came in here.
Yeah, I think I'd better tell you the whole story, or you might get confused. You see, I'm handicapped by my watch.
Your watch?
Yeah, well, there's something wrong with the big finger. You see, it gains 5 minutes going down, it loses 5 minutes going up. It's something to do with the law of gravity. Now, look at your clock. You're on the hour, mine says 5:02.
Yeah, not only that, you're an hour out. Your watch is 5 to 4.
Now, that's because I'm still on British summertime.
Oh, what's the reason for that?
I've no choice. The winder's broken.
I'm locking the doors now, Mr. Keenan.
Thank you, Miss Dempster. And then will you get me our Pitt Street branch on the telephone? Now then, Mr.
Worth, Harry Worth.
Yes, well, I can certainly arrange to credit this money to your savings account, Mr. Worth. But to cash a cheque on your business account, I shall need permission from Pitt Street.
Is that rather degrading? Surely they can trust you.
Pitt Street, Miss Dempster, as fast as you can. Now then, let's dispose of this money. That's £8, 16 shillings and 10 pence.
Yes, that's right.
How much do you want to draw from your current account?
£8, 16 shillings and 10 pence.
That's exactly the same amount you're paying in.
Yes, but if you're thinking what I think you're thinking, I think I can explain.
It's nothing to do with your watch, is it?
Not exactly, although time is relevant. It's my system, you see. Every Friday I draw the cash I need for the week, and I pay in the money I have left over from the previous week. Now, this week, by sheer coincidence, what I am putting in and what I am taking out is the same amount. It would baffle some people.
Yes, it's baffled me.
Ah, but then again, you're not to know. I forgot to pay the milkman.
Mr. Worth, instead of drawing £8, 16 shillings and 10 pence from your current account, why not keep the £8, 16 and 10 that you're paying into your savings account?
What? And miss the interest?
Excuse me. Hello? Pitt Street. This is Dalton Square. We have a customer of yours here, Mr. Harry Worth. What have I said that's so funny?
Excuse me, is that the manager, Mr. Cruikshanks?
Yes.
He could never understand my system.
Well, actually, I was putting this call into you because he wanted to cash one of your checks at this branch. But it now transpired he's brought exactly the same amount to pay into his savings account. What? And miss the interest? Right, so I can take his check and cash the check and pay him his money. Right, thank you. That's all I wanted to know. Can I have your check, Mr. Worth?
Yes, here it is. I've made it out. I hope it's all right. I've initialed a mistake when I put the wrong date.
Oh, yes, that's fine. Whatever made you think it was Christmas Day?
Well, it's a very long story. I was walking along the street.
Fine, yes, well, I'll take your word for it. £8, 16 and 10. Now, how would you like it?
Do you mean, do I want it wrapped up?
I mean, in what denominations would you like your money?
Well, honestly, I haven't given it a thought. Could I start with a pound's worth of 1952 half-crowns? Well, I understand they're rather valuable.
They're priceless. In fact, there was only one half-crown minted in 1952.
Really? Could I put my name down for it in case it turns up?
Mr. Worth, I am going to give you a new £5 note. 3 ones,
Yes.
16 shillings, and 6 in silver, and 4 pennies. May I now ask Miss Dempster to let you out?
Mr. Keenan, you have been most kind and cooperative. In fact, I've never met a kinder or more... what's this?
Is something the matter?
There certainly is, this £5 note.
What's wrong with it?
It's a forgery.
It can't be.
It can be, it is. Look at the Queen's head.
But it looks perfectly all right to me.
But look a little closer, Mr. Keenan. There's a shadow on the right cheek.
So?
So, well, compare it with this note here. You see what I mean? No shadows. This is a forgery.
But, Mr. Worth, this is a brand new note. It's just come from the Treasury.
Oh, well, that narrows it down a bit. It's obviously an inside job.
Here, see for yourself. The rest of the same batch of brand new notes. Look, there you are. A shadow on the Queen's face.
Yes.
See? Another. See? They're all the same. Each one has a shadow on the Queen's face. They're all identical.
This is incredible. It's wholesale forgery.
It's nothing of the kind, Mr. Worth. This one here, the note you brought in, this is the forgery.
Is it?
See for yourself. No shadow on the Queen's face.
Well, how can you be sure it ought to have one on? After all, you must admit this is a much better likeness. She must have posed for this one. Is there any way of getting hold of the original?
What are you suggesting, that we should ring Buckingham Palace?
It would be rather silly to do that.
I'm glad you agree.
She's at Balmoral.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Everything all right?
Nothing is right for the moment.
Ah, well, can I help?
Well, that's very kind of you. We wondered where we could get hold of the Queen.
I don't think I quite follow.
Mr. Beveridge, will you please explain to this gentleman that there's nothing wrong with our £5 notes?
Is there some doubt?
He's not satisfied with the picture of the Queen.
Really? And who do you want on? Barbara Castle?
I'm afraid you're missing the point. If I am not mistaken, all these notes are counterfeit.
Well, I'm delighted to tell you you are mistaken. All these notes are perfectly genuine.
Well, of course, I shall bow to your superior knowledge. If you assure me these notes are legal tender, I shall consider the matter closed.
But what about the counterfeit note that you just paid in?
Let me see. Oh, yes. Yes, there's no doubt about that. That is a forgery. It's one of the best forgeries I've ever seen, but completely worthless.
Oh, dear me, how sad.
Sad?
Well, it's sad. Don't you think it's sad?
It's not only sad, sir. This is one of the most wicked crimes against society. Innocent people who accept one of these, all in good faith, suddenly find themselves robbed of £5 they can ill afford.
Well, look, after all, I brought it in. Let me give you something towards it.
Look, please. You don't seem to understand. This is your £5 note. It is quite unacceptable to us. We couldn't give you a penny piece for it.
You mean you can't give me anything at all?
Nothing. If I were you, I'd take it straight round to the police.
What do you think they'll give me for it?
All they'll give you is a chance to tell them where you got it from. You see, this forgery is the nearest approach to the genuine article I've ever seen in all my years of banking. Look, you've only got to turn it upside down, and the rear side is undistinguishable. Do you see what I mean?
It's fantastic. I shall go straight round to the police station, and I shall quote you verbatim.
Please do. Now, Mr. Keenan, will you show this gentleman out?
This way, sir?
Yeah. Well, goodbye, Mr. Beveridge. Perhaps I shall find it necessary to come and see you again sometime.
Yes, but let's not be too pessimistic, eh?
Oh.
Well, this is one night we won't be going home early, Mr. Keenan.
I don't believe it.
What's the matter?
He's taken the wrong note.
So what it boils down to is that you're chained with Maudsley and he's working all day Saturday so that you and Bradley can have a long weekend.
That's right, Sergeant.
Will you kindly stop ordering this duty road behind my back? If you start playing these sort of games, you might just as well have a lucky dip. And take your helmet off my counter. Oh, I've lost my drawing pin now. Look, a drawer full of bicycle clips. Don't just stand there. If you want to do something useful, go and brew up.
Ah, yes. Up a little bit on your right.
Eh?
It's sloping to your right about half an inch.
It's near enough for all the notice they'll take of it round here. Now then, what can I do for you?
Sergeant, I've been the victim of a malicious and shabby trick.
I'll let me guess. You've been booked for parking.
No, that was last week. Now, a much more serious offence is involved than that. I have come in here and it has been suggested, Sergeant, I give you this.
Well, before we go any further, do you happen to know the penalty for trying to bribe a policeman?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you there, Sergeant. I'm not a police manual. Maybe that will tell you.
I'll put it this way. I've known people get 6 months for it.
6 months? Well, that sounds about right, doesn't it? After all, it is a pretty serious offence.
Right. Now, we'll just pretend that isn't a £5 note you put on the counter.
It isn't a £5 note.
That's more like it.
You spotted it straight away, did you?
I couldn't believe it unless you put it down right under my nose.
Nevertheless, you must have very alert eyes. What is the Queen's head?
I beg your pardon?
The Queen's head. There's no shadow on the right cheek.
Now, look, brother, I don't know what you've done. If you think you're going to plead a defence of insanity, you're wasting your time.
Sergeant, can we get to the point?
I'm all for it.
Now, I have walked in here with this £5 note.
That's right, and I told you it's no good trying to give it to me.
And I agreed with you. After all, it's no good to anybody. Now, are we all right up to there?
Just a minute, you've lost me. What do you mean this £5 note's no good to anybody?
Well, it's a forgery, isn't it?
Is it?
Oh, then I was wrong. You hadn't spotted the Queen's head.
It's the finest forgery I've ever seen.
That's exactly what the manager of the Metropolitan Bank said.
Just a minute, we'll prove this. I've got a £5 note here in my pocket. It's remarkable.
Isn't it?
Constable Mary.
Hang on, Sarge. I'm still waiting for the kettle.
Never mind about the kettle. Come in here a minute.
Yes, Sarge?
Just run your BDI with those two £5 notes and tell me which one's the forgery.
Go on.
I'll buy it. This chap here says that note in his right hand is a dud.
It's quite true, Constable. That note is worthless.
I'll give you 10 bob for it.
Oh, no, you don't. There's any bargains going on first in the queue. Go and attend to what you're doing. Now then, if I were you, I'd take it straight back to the bank and ask that manager to get his right glasses on.
Oh.
By the way, do you happen to remember who came by it in the first place?
Do you know, I can remember it as though it was yesterday. Come to think of it, it was the day before. I was selling raffle tickets for the church renovation fund, and I called in Miss Twiggett's antique shop in the arcade. And I walked in the shop and I said, "Good morning, Miss Twiggett." "Good morning," she said. "Good morning, Miss Twiggett." "Good morning," she said. There's two of them, sisters. I said, "Would you like to buy a raffle ticket for the church renovation fund?" Knowing that they would. They'd been buying raffle tickets for the church renovation fund ever since the church was built. "Yes," said one. "Yes," said the other. "But we've only got a £5 note." "Not to worry," I said. "I will give you £4.17 and 6 change out of my own pocket," which I did. Oh, I forgot to tell you, the raffle tickets are £5.
Thank you for telling me. Yes. Well, if you think that £5 note's a dud, why not take it back to Miss Twiggett and get her to give you another for it?
You know, Sergeant, that sounds like very good advice. You never know, she might buy another raffle ticket, might she? I don't suppose you...
No, thank you.
Well, if the church falls down, be it on your own head.
I quit sugaring. You should have put a stiff whiskey in after that encounter. No. Derby Road Police Station. Who? Oh, you're the people who sent that chap here around here with a £5 note. No, I'm afraid I can't. He's just left. Well, naturally, he couldn't accept it as a forgery, so he took it with him. What? Not his? You mean he stole it? Oh, I see. Yes, well, it does happen. I know where he's gone, yes. I'll ask them to dash round and get him round to you right away. Okay, sir. Melis, get your bike clips on.
Oh, me?
Well, there's only two of us here, and I'm not going. I'm drumming my teeth.
There's somebody at the front door, dear. Oh, what did you say, dear? I said there's somebody at the front door. Just a moment. I think there's somebody at the front door. I think who'd want to call just when we've closed up.
Oh, I'm so sorry to trouble you, Miss Twiggett.
It's Mr. Worth coming.
Yes, thank you.
It's Mr. Worth, dear. Oh, that's nice.
Miss Twiggett, I wonder, do you remember giving me this £5 note yesterday?
Oh, yes, I remember it quite well.
Ah, good, good. Now, can you remember where you got it from?
Well, I must think. I might have got it out of that Grecian vase. Or I might have taken it out of the tea caddy. No, I know where I got it. I took it out of the top drawer of the Welsh dresser. But why do you ask, Mr. Worth?
Well, I don't like to say this, Miss Twiggett, really, but the bank, they wouldn't accept it.
How very odd. Perhaps you'd like me to change it for a different one.
Oh, dear, that would be most kind of you. Would you mind?
Oh, not at all. I know what I'll do. I'll give you one out of the linen chest. There'll be no trouble over there. Here you are.
Miss Twiggett, I hope you won't mind me asking you this, but do you keep all your money inside your antique?
Oh, no. We keep most of it upstairs. Now, isn't that strange? We had no customers this afternoon. We closed up the shop, and now we're busy. Excuse me, Mr.
Yes,
Worth.
of course.
Good evening, Miss Twiggett.
It's Constable Mellish. It's Constable Mellish, dear. Oh, that's nice.
If you don't mind, Mum, I'd like a word with this gentleman here.
Oh, Mr. Worth would like a word with you.
Oh, that's nice.
You want to go round to the Metropolitan Bank right away. They're waiting to cash up and they want to see you very urgently.
Yeah, now, I was afraid that this might happen. I expected it, you see. What they want to do, they want to apologize for suggesting that Miss Twiggett's £5 note was unacceptable.
Oh, according to the sergeant, they sounded very upset.
Yes, and so they should be. Miss Twiggett, I apologize for troubling you so late.
Oh, not at all. Lovely to see you.
Ah, thank you, Miss.
Good night, Mum.
Oh,
Thank you.
good night, Constable. They've gone, dear. Oh, that's nice. I was wondering if we could find a place for this. Oh, no, you can't bring any more in here. You'll have to stop making them until we get more space. By the way, dear, are you using enough ink? Of course dear, why? Because that nice Mr. Worth took one to the bank and they complained. Oh, Emily, you didn't give one to Mr. Worth. Well, I told you, dear. It was for charity. Well, I don't think you ought to give any of them away until we've reached our target. Now, Clarissa, if you're going to be small-minded, I shall not allow you to keep any in the bath.
It is 20 minutes past 6, Mr. Keenan. I have never been here as late as this since I opened the branch in 1957.
Well, I'll wait for Mr. Beveridge. You go home.
I will not go home. I shall stay here until we strike a proper balance if I have to wait all night. Again, here.
Thank you. Just going home, Mr. Beveridge?
I have been waiting to go home, my dear sir, since 10 minutes to 5.
Oh, really? You shouldn't have waited to apologize. The postcard would have done.
You're jolly lucky we haven't issued you with a writ.
Well, don't tell me I've done something to upset you.
You walked out of this bank this afternoon and took the wrong £5 note with you.
I walked out of here with the wrong £5. Now, whatever possessed you to let me do a thing like that?
Just give me the £5 note, Mr. Worth, then I can make this money balance.
Yes, of
which
course.
we have been waiting to do for nearly 2 hours.
Oh, so I've delayed you. It really is unforgivable. You must allow me to do something to make up for it.
There's nothing you can do.
Oh, surely there must be something. Let me go outside and polish your brass plate.
Please, don't worry about it. Perhaps it was a genuine mistake.
Oh, it was a genuine mistake, all right.
Then how do you account for the fact that you brought another forgery
You
in?
see, what I think happened, when you were turning the notes over, you said, you were saying...
This isn't the note you took from here. It's a dud.
But it can't be. This note came from the linen chest. The other one came from the Welsh dresser.
This is ridiculous. In 2 visits, you managed to double our deficit.
Well, honestly, I can't offer any explanation. Oh, dear. The Grecian vase and the Victorian tea caddy.
I beg your pardon?
The 2 Miss Twiggets.
Are you following this conversation? Only at a safe distance.
Gentlemen, I must leave here at once. Oh, you 2 poor old dears.
Is he talking about us?
Look, can I take these?
No, you can't. Not until we get £10 for them.
Look, would you take a check?
Gladly.
Well, I'll just sign and date it, and perhaps you'll fill in the details and add something for your trouble. There we are.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Don't forget to lock up.
Well, at least with this, we can catch up now and go home.
Not quite. I might have only do that.
Don't tell me you haven't signed it.
Oh, yes, he signed it all right. Look how he dated it.
25th of December!
We've more room than I imagined, Clarissa. I've managed to get 2,500 down his legs. Well, I told you there were still places that we didn't think of. Now, that means that I can roll off another 2 batches before we get to his Adam's apple. Oh, dear. Who can that be? Shan't be a moment. Just coming. You'd better cover that basket over. Because if it's Mrs. Bailey, you know what a nosy Parker she is.
Miss Twiggett. Miss Twiggett, now, please, I have got to speak to you very urgently. Now, tell me, I must know, where are you getting your £5 notes from?
Well, we were hoping to keep it a secret for the present, weren't we, Emily? We thought it would be a lovely surprise.
Well, I like surprises. Go on, surprise
We set ourselves an achievement. We wanted to give £1 million to charity.
£1 million?
We wanted to go to the underprivileged countries.
But, ladies, £1 million, it's a lot of... How can you possibly collect £1 million?
Oh, we're not collecting it, Mr.
You're
Worth.
not?
We're making our own.
Making your own?
We got the idea from our brother Jonathan. He was home agent for the Mint.
Home agent? Ladies, I've never heard of a home agent for the Mint.
Oh, yes. He explained it all to us one day when we saw him working his printing machine up in the loft. Yes. He used to help with the export orders. Oh, such an obliging man. Oh, but it was so sad when they sent him to work away. But he writes letters to us regularly from the Isle of Wight.
The Isle of... The Isle of Wight.
Parker. Yes, he seems to be very happy, but he doesn't get many holidays.
No, he probably has a great deal of difficulty getting away. Look, you don't have to say any more. It's all clear to me now. Ladies, you have got to let me help you.
Oh, that's nice. Would you help us as well?
Yes, now let me think. Now, the underdeveloped countries, that's where you want all this money to go, isn't
Well,
it?
we've made a few more thousand.
No, there isn't time. The underdeveloped countries, they can't wait. Now what? We're going to collect all these lovely £5 notes that you have made. We're going to parcel them up, and we're going to dispatch them tonight. Now, yes, we'll use this oak chest. A van! That's what we need, a van!
Oh, we've got a van.
Yes. You have got a van. Now, here's what we are going to do. We're going to load the van with these £5 notes. I shall drive it to Dover, and then I shall put it on a boat to,
India?
India. Isn't that a splendid idea, India?
Oh, but I think the boats only go from Dover to Calais.
Well, I'll have a word with the captain. I'll ask him to go the long way round. Look, go to it, ladies. I'll do the oak chest. You empty Sir Lancelot. Look. Oh, by the way, have you got a box of matches?
What do you want matches for, Mr.
To start a... In case I lose my way to Dover in the dark.
A bit, wasn't he?
Looks like he's pulling up and turning round.
Well, if he does come back, we'll nab him. Ask him what he thinks he's playing at.
Hello, sir. I didn't expect to see you.
Well, it's a £5 note, King. Where's the fire?
How could you possibly know I was going to light one?
Hear that, Constable? It's full of repartee, this one. Ask him where the fire is, he tells you you're going to light one. All right, we've had a little bit of fun now. What's the hurry?
Well, it is rather confidential.
Oh, we'll keep it to ourselves, won't we, Melly?
Our lips will be sealed. Yeah, well, it's very understanding of you, but believe me, it would be far better if you didn't become involved.
I can't actually smell anything. You reckon he's been at the vodka?
Here, don't this van belong to Miss Twiggs at the antique shop? Yes, it does, but I've taken it with her full permission. Between ourselves, Sergeant, I was driving it round to the corporation refuse dump.
Refuse dump? You must be crackers. It's good for another 6 months, is this?
No, I wasn't going to dump the van. I was going to burn some paper.
Ah, yeah. And you'll be telling us next you've got some more fibres you want to get rid of.
No, I wasn't going to tell you that, no. He's carrying, he's got the back doors locked.
Right, now come on, Rockefeller, why don't you admit you got about a couple of £1 million in the bank you don't know what to do with?
No, I assure you, it's not more than 1 million.
You've got a right one here, Mellish. So, you were going round to the corporation refuse dump with about £1 million.
Yes, but I must confess, I told a little white lie. I told her, Mrs. Twiggs, I was taking it to Dover to put on a boat to India.
Nellie! Get me a booze bag out of my haversack. Right you are. Come on, get it out of the van. Come on.
You'd like the outside?
I would if you think you can stand up.
Here you are, Sarge.
Right. Would you like to blow into that?
Yeah. I better warn you, Sergeant. I'm not very musical.
Just blow that plastic bag up. That's all.
Isn't it funny? Whenever I blow anything up, I get spots in front of my eyes.
I'm supposed you haven't got pink elephants. Go on, inflate that bag.
You promise you won't pop it?
Get it blown up! That'll do. Constable, shove your torch on that. How do you count for that?
It just occurred to me, Constable, are you under the impression that I've been drinking?
I don't know what you've been doing, but I'll tell you this. If I ever come across you again, I'll throw the book at you. And when I do, I'll get you for something. I'll get back in that van and clear off.
Right. You don't mind if I go round to the corporation refuse dump?
You can jump in the incinerator if you like. Now get in that van and get out of my sight.
Right, Sergeant, I'll do that, and thank you for being so understanding about it. Go. I will take that for a laugh, Sarge. Taking £1 million to a rubbish dump.
Now, Mellish, never snigger at human tragedy. Don't you know a schizophrenic when you see one?
Good morning, Miss Twiggs.
Oh, Mr. Worth. It's Mr. Worth, dear. Oh, that's nice.
I put the van at the back of the shop, you see, because it was rather late when I got back last night. I'm afraid I got lost.
Oh, did you have to strike a lot of matches?
Oh, no, just one, and one thing seemed to lead to another. But, Miss Wiggett, you will promise me you will never, ever make any more notes for the underdeveloped company.
Oh, no. We've done our share in that respect.
Yes, you have. Yes.
That gently. Now, shall we start with the Grecian vase this time?
Ladies, what are you doing? You promised.
Oh, these are not for the undeveloped countries, Mr. Worth. No. They're for the Chancellor of the Exchequer to help with the balance of payments.
And ladies, don't you understand? If you keep doing this sort of thing, eventually, have you got another box of matches?